Hey guys, it is just me, Tanya, founder of the tngcreates Group Limited. I hope you're all staying safe and well. Now, in today's video, we're actually going to be talking about how to grow your brand. Now, as always, please make sure you stick around to the end because, as you know, I have an amazing, great little bonus for you, and I want to make sure that you guys actually tap into it. So please stick around to the end of this video so you guys can take advantage of it for sure. Okay, so let's get straight into today's video. Okay, so as I said, we're going to be talking about the idea of how to grow your brand. Now, when I'm actually talking about that, I actually want you guys to write down this phrase because it's an amazing phrase that's going to stick in with your minds forever. Now, write down the idea of repetition equals reputation. That's repetition equals reputation. Now, what I mean by that is understanding your objectives and your whys and all that kind of stuff. From especially go back to my other videos where I've spoken about that. It's particularly about how 4 ways to test your logo, for example, or even how to build a great brand. Check out those videos because you're going to understand your business even more so. Sometimes we need to be able to tap back into that so we can actually refresh our memories as to who we are, what we're trying to do, what our messages are. And incidentally, that's how you start growing your brand. When you understand about your colors, when you understand about the idea of familiarity, the idea of actually setting those elements in place, putting them all in alignment, and understanding what your message is even more so, your brand voice, your core values, all these things help to boost and push and grow your business and grow your brand even more so. Now, key things to sort of think about, especially for the actual brands that are actually out there, to actually sort of understand for yourselves just how key this part is. When you think about the idea of an orange smiley face or an orange smile, for example, what do you think of? What brand comes straight to your mind? When you think of just like a little tick, what brand comes to mind? And equally, when you start thinking about when I say the phrase the golden arches or a yellow M, what brand comes to mind? That's how powerful repetition can be. You're going to understand that that orange smiley face is Amazon. You're going to understand that that little tick is Nike, and equally the golden arches or the yellow M is McDonald's. We have these images, these little triggers that are thrown at us daily, all because those brands are repeating the same kind of triggers for us to keep them in mind. And that's equally the type of thing that we're also trying to do for ourselves, even as small entrepreneurs, small to medium entrepreneurs, business owners, enterprises alike. Think about how you guys can actually make sure that you're doing that and setting these little trigger images in place to make sure that you're equally staying as memorable as you want and need to be. And there's some other things to think about as well. When you're putting your imagery out there, when you're actually putting your posts out there through social media, through your websites, all that kind of stuff, or even your flyers and your posters and your pull-up banners, all that kind of stuff that's actually shouting about you. Think about how you're repeating that message. Think about how you're actually setting your images to keep in the style of your brand. Think about that. I remember coming across some examples, some really cool examples of, I guess, tapping into the idea of nostalgia for one, and the other example was tapping in the idea of pain. And it's a familiar pain, but both of them have familiar representations. Now, this one familiar representation that was actually tapping into the idea of nostalgia, that literally used something as simple as a pencil. And the top was chewed, and the bottom, the actual lead part, obviously was absolutely sharpened. The top, where it said, beside the top part of that pencil, it says useful for thinking. And the bottom part, where the lead is useful for writing down ideas. So useful for thinking when you're chewing on a pencil, and useful for writing ideas when actually you're literally getting down to your doodles, your exploration moments, if you like, on bits of paper. Now for me, and I'm sure even if you didn't chew a pencil as a child, you probably still do as an adult. It could even be the pen lid. But it's something that we do when we're actually thinking about what is our next steps, what is our next idea, what is our next big idea. We use that to just sort of think, don't we? So that was a cool way of actually using a representation or the idea of familiarity, tapping into that nostalgic feel for me. And I think the same for a lot of people, judging for the amount of comments that actually got. being able to do that, as I said, you're starting to build on your reputation because you're built on an element of familiarity. Equally, when we're looking at the idea of using familiarity on the pain, that example that I was previously talking about, it was actually an Adidas campaign. Now, we know Adidas. Again, think of what image straight away comes to mind. That's right. So it's the three stripes down the side of the trainers, or any shoe brand that is coming out, or any of its apparel range as well. So you have that in mind. And then when you start seeing these images are actually people's feet who have actually been hurt, people's feet who are bandaged, people's feet who have plasters on. And the idea of the campaign is actually tapping into what it is that your feet will feel when you're wearing those knockoff trainers. Let's get straight to it. I love the fact that they did that because it's literally tapping into that same pain. You know, we think we're trying to make a little saving, but we still want to have the same kind of a look. But at the same time, you tap into those knockoff versions and you pay the price on your feet. So Adidas used that with a bandage. At the same time, on that bandage was held together by 3 safety pins. On the side of somebody else's foot, it was literally 3 plasters. So there were different ways, but they were literally representing the idea of the brand, but at the same time not having to show the brand directly. But it was that idea of familiarity, using those 3 stripes that literally helped the viewer to trigger who they were. So how are we doing that for our own businesses? How are we actually putting that in place and having our own little triggers for other people to remember us by? For me, I use colors. Colors are a big thing for me because not only do they represent who I am, my soul, if you like, my whys, they represent all of my values. They also represent, and I use them to categorize certain things that are going on with my business. Anytime I'm putting my slide decks together, all that kind of stuff, that's how you can use colors as well. Colors can be so, so powerful, even more so than what we actually think. So think about that. How can we actually tap into your own color scheme? How can you actually tap into the type of images that you represent you? Repetition equals reputation, and it is so valuable for any brand, especially when you're trying to start up. If you have all these little nuggets when you're trying to start up, oh my gosh, you're going to be scaling up even more so, even better from the get-go. For those of you who are existing brands, equally, you're going to be scaling up as even more so because now you've changed your way of thinking. And I think that's the key word there, change. Be okay to change. Be okay to update yourselves. We're forever growing. We're forever evolving. This is something that I learned along the way. And do you know what? I'm so pleased and thankful that I did learn it because it's helped me talk about my things even better. It's helped me to set my reputation even better, and it's helped me to grow and escalate my brand even better. So equally, guys, I hope that really, really helped you because, as I said, it helped me. And as an added bonus, from what I was talking about at the very beginning of this video, I want you guys to tap into my great guide that's going to actually help to boost and grow your businesses even more so. It's going to start putting in those little triggers in your own mind. Are you actually covering these specific things? Are you making sure that your brand or your business is actually getting out there even more so? Even if your personal identities as well, we have to build on our own personal brands as well. And 9 times out of 10, your personal brands actually match your business brands. So guys, please make sure that you go ahead and tap into that amazing guide and take in all the juicy little nuggets that I'm going to be sharing with you in there as well. Equally, please make sure that you keep sharing this channel with other people. Go ahead and subscribe to it. Make sure you tick on that little bell as well so you can get notified anytime I put a video out as well to be able to share with you lovely people. So please make sure you go ahead and do that. Any comments you have, please go ahead and tap them into the description box, the comment box even, and I will see you guys on the other side. Take care. Bye-bye.